The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill. A breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help. Just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
and so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
1, 2, 3, 4. As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
It's a huge burden lifted financially, and so it allows you to give singular focus to your child. I've never known a hospital that takes care of their patients so thoroughly.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Coming to you live this Friday morning. Welcome to Freedom Friday. Yes, indeed. It is Friday, December number 15 in the year of our Lord 2017. Glad that you are here. And we do this Friday, as we do every Friday, we take things a little bit lighter. And, well, just about anything goes today. Just about anything goes. Here it is, Friday, December number 15 in the year of our Lord 2017, which means you got about 9 or 10 days of shopping before Christmas is today. That's it. You're looking at 10 days from now, it being the glorious holy day. Yes, indeed, as we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ himself, in about 10 days. It is a wonderful but yet cold morning, sunny yet cold morning up here in northern New England. And you feel it throughout the house. It's actually only, when I woke up this morning, it was 1 degree above zero. Yeah, that's what it said. That's what the temperature gauge said. 1 degree above zero. It wasn't zero. It was 1 degree above. And right now it is approximately 4 degrees. So we've warmed up a little bit, but the sun is shining. I'm not sure exactly how warm they expect to get today, but yesterday I was out and about, and it was really kind of weird. I guess it's supposed to be a high of it's not even going to hit 30 today. But it said the temperature they were off. They were off. There was one in downtown Concord, outside temperature. It said 29 degrees, and there was one basically in Pembroke that was outside. It said the weather is, and it said it was 25, but I swear it felt a hell of a lot colder than that. I know what 29 degrees feels like. It felt, well, there was wind, but when you're next to buildings, there isn't much. Well, I guess there can be a lot of wind still, even if buildings are blocked. But if buildings are blocking most of it, why does it still feel? I mean, part of the reason why it feels cold is because the wind is actually blowing by you and touching you. But in any case, it felt very cold out there yesterday. Well, we've gone from October was unseasonably warm this year. Much of November was unseasonably warm. And all of a sudden we go from unseasonably warm to pretty much unseasonably cold. It's not normally this, when it's 1 degree above zero or it's 4 degrees outside, that's usually more typical of a late January or the entire month of February around here, not December. December helps, November and December you kind of ease into coldness, and then a lot of times in December, mid-December to late December, you start getting the snow, but you don't get near sub-zero temperatures. That's not normal. Well, whatever normal is. I mean, that's in my short history on this planet in living here. That's not the typical norm. By the way, speaking of normal and on this planet, NASA is reporting that they found another planet around another sun. A sun similar to our sun star. So whenever somebody says, "Well, our sun is a star," but we say, "Well, there's a similar star out there, similar to the sun." So they call it a sun star, and there's a planet. They found another planet in this. What was the system? Anyway, it's the 8th planet in this system. And it is now in a single solar system. It is basically the same number of planets that we have in our solar system, that we know of right now. Because Pluto is no longer a planet. Pluto was downgraded into a micro or mini planet or something like that a few years ago. So we've gone from 9 planets to just 8. Again. So this solar system that they've been, it's 250,000 light years away. So it's not close by. But what they believe is happening, now I don't know how they can tell that far away, but what they believe that this planet is so close to the sun, it's like Mercury here, similar to Mercury, where the temperature is around, at the average temperature they're saying is 800 degrees. So that's pretty warm. Can you say global warming? But if you think of global warming in this sense, think of Mercury and Venus. Why the hell is Venus so hot? I don't know. Why can't we reproduce here what's going on Venus? Well, Venus is just a backwards planet anyway. Not only does it go I believe it goes in the opposite direction of every other planet in this solar system. It also spins backwards on its axis in the opposite direction of every other planet. Well, let me just, to put it in perspective, if you put it in perspective and you're looking at if you put all the planets on the wall, I do believe all the planets rotate in a counterclockwise motion. Do I have that right? I can't really visualize it, but let's just say they all rotate in a counterclockwise rotation. Well, I mean, some of the gaseous planets they kind of twist themselves. Part of the planet spins faster than the other part, but roughly they all spin counterclockwise. Venus spins clockwise. We all roughly go counterclockwise around the sun. Venus is the only one that goes clockwise. So, but Venus is close to us, so we can tell what it's doing. I don't know how they can possibly tell what a rocky planet is doing. A melted rocky planet is doing. That's 250,000 light years away. That's a long way away. Unless we learn how to fold time and space, we're never getting there. But the other thing is, speaking of being short-lived on this planet, it is so close. According to NASA, it is so close to the sun. How hot does Mercury get? I don't know. But this planet is so close to the sun that its year, now our year is 365 days roughly. Its year is less than a month. Now that's how close it is to that planet. That planet is to that planet's sun. Its year, it just flies by in a month. So literally every, the weather, well, I guess it's always 800 degrees, but the seasons change within a month. Now, we here on this planet, we like to think of everything happening in a 365-day year. We're so locked into it, really. We really are. We are so locked into a 365-day year. But that's not really a year. I'm just, that's not, because we didn't know any better, but we've probably chosen one of the worst ways to tell time, to track time that there is in the universe. Oh yeah, let's just sink our entire, our entire being on the cycle of this planet. No other planet out there that we know of is going to have a cycle equal to our, not even Mars. What is the year on Mars? It's like 600 days. So you basically, what is it? You're going to live half as long on Mars as you do here on the Earth? Well, no, you're living the same amount of time. It's just that we've obviously chosen what was, based on this planet's rotation around itself and on its axis and around the sun. And that is probably, man invented time. Time doesn't really exist out there in the universe, but since we invented it, in order to give our, to try to measure our lives, we've picked and kept the worst way to do it. But when you stop and think about it, a human being is on this planet, 60, 70, 80 years, if we're lucky. And the oldest man on the planet right now, we think, is 113. Think of that, 113 years old. That's it. How old would he be if he lived on this planet that rotates around the sun every month? Well, he'd still be the same age. Do you understand that? If you lived on Mars instead of the Earth, how old would this guy be? Well, he would still be the same age. It's just how we measure it that changes. Do folks understand this? I know it's me. Oh, Rod, you're going down that rabbit hole now. You're getting into some quantum physics shit now, aren't you, Rod? Well, not really, no. I mean, just stop and think about it for a second. Does your age change because we decide to utilize a different way of telling time, or a planet rotates around its sun at a different rate than the Earth does? You're still the same age. You've still been alive the same amount of quote-unquote time. Now, depending on the planet, you've experienced more seasons or fewer seasons. But you're still the same age. Now, what is that age? I don't know. We have to come up with a better system of telling the human concept of time versus one based solely on the rotation of our planet on its axis and around our sun. Because once we start traversing, our own solar system, that's going to get real confusing real fast. Now, I am sure that I'm sure that NASA and all that they have come up with an alternative time system that we just don't utilize down here, and we probably never will, because it's kind of like the United States switching over to the metric system. Anybody ever wonder whatever happened to that? Were we supposed to have fully changed over to the metric system like the rest of the planet had by the 90s? And then somebody said, "Screw that." I remember they tried teaching metric in school. And they tried teaching it along with the good old English system. And the problem was I don't even think the teachers really understood metric system. They did, because they did a poor job. And they even mispronounced words. We call it kilometer. Well, it's not a kilometer. It's a kilometer. Well, everything else is that way. It's a millimeter, decameter, centimeter. Why is it a kilometer? It's not. It's a kilometer. So they couldn't even pronounce the damn words right, let alone actually teach us the metric system. So by the time the late 80s and the early 90s came along, I guess we were supposed to have switched over by then. Our government just said, "Oh, hell no, screw it, forget it. Nobody's ready." There were some states that did the dual traffic signs, on the highway. I think Michigan was that way. Detroit 100 miles, and, whatever it was in kilometers, 200 kilometers, 100, whatever. I'm terrible with the transition or of metric system too. If I don't, the only way I have an idea of what it is if I look down at my speedometer, and my speedometer is in in miles per hour, mph, as well as kph, kilometers per hour. So I can kind of gauge that way. But if it's just flat out, I mean, I roughly know that 55 miles per hour is roughly 62 kilometers per hour. That's roughly what it is. So that's about it. Other than that, hey, that's a kilometer or kilometer down the road. How far is that? Well, it's kind of like measuring time. Hey, I'm a year old, but I'm on, let's just pick, I'm 50 years old, but I'm on Mars. Am I still 50? Well, yes and no. It just doesn't make any sense, does it? There's some, well, what's this got to do with politics, Rod? What's this quantum physics shit got to do with politics? Has everything to do with it. Has everything. When we get back, I'll explain some more.
You're listening to me, your lovable host, L. Rod, here on the Rod Eccles Show.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Welcome back. God rest ye, merry gentlemen. Let's get into our Christmas song this morning, our first one this morning, and here it is for you. See if you can pick out the title.
Said the night wind to the little lamb, do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little lamb, do you see what I see? A star, dancing in the night with a tail as big as a kite, with a tail as big as a kite. Said the little lamb, the sea, with a voice as big as the sea. Said the shepherd boy to the mighty king, do you know what I know? Do you know what I know? In your palace war, mighty king, do you know what I know? Do you know what I know? A child shivers in the cold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Said the king to the people everywhere, listen to what I say. Pray for peace, people everywhere. Listen to what I say. The child, sleeping in the night, he will bring us goodness and light. He will bring us goodness and
Sheena Malwani. Beautiful voice on that. Nice pipes on that young lady right there. Yes, indeed. Now, folks, this whole notion of you're probably wondering, where the hell are you going with this, Rod? I didn't come here to go down no damn rabbit hole. Well, it's important that we go down this rabbit hole because we've got look in the past. How fleeting can time be? Actually, think about it. We successfully, well, not. I guess it really depends on your version of success, but we successfully made it through 8 years of Obama. I mean, really look back on it. It when we're in the middle of it, it seemed like it was taking forever, but it just really went by pretty damn fast. Thankfully, just like 8 years of Bush. Bush has been out of office for 9 years, almost a decade. It's approaching nearly 20 years since we had Clinton in office. The time is just fleeting. But is it really that long? Well, the reason why I bring it up is because now we're hearing that 2018 is going to be it for our esteemed representative from Wisconsin. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan is saying that he's going to hang up his speakership. Really? He's going to go back home. Why is that? Is this to punish the Republicans for supporting Donald Trump? Now you got to remember that Paul Ryan is not really a huge Trump fan. Well, he's not. And Paul Ryan has done some things and that have a lot of people scratching their heads thinking, well, there have been times. Remember when Paul Ryan? I think it had something to do with November, but we were into January. Remember this? And I said Paul Ryan looks like he's a doppelganger. He's been taken over. It's in his eyes. He doesn't look like Paul Ryan. Well, maybe this is a continuation of that.
You're listening to the Rod Eccles Show. Let truth be told.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child eaten a tube of toothpaste, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, I'm Hillary Duff. As a mom, I'm proud to support the March of Dimes in helping more women have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. That's why I walk in March for Babies. The money we raise funds research and local programs that help babies overcome the challenges of premature birth and birth defects. Sign up today at marchforbabies.org. Together, we can help make healthier babies possible for thousands of families.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
America's wounded warriors are coming home. After serving on foreign shores, these brave men and women are returning to their families and communities. Many have wounds you can see, and many have wounds you can't see, like post-traumatic stress disorder. Now that these warriors are back home, they are ready to enter the civilian workforce. To help, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a career counseling service that helps warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. These extraordinary men and women bring proven world-class job skills and a unique perspective on teamwork to the job. And to ensure the right warrior finds the right job, Wounded Warrior Project works with employers to find just the right match. When you hire a wounded warrior, you hire an intelligent, talented, and committed new employee. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Get that feeling, man. That's some strong stuff there, strong music there. Paul Ryan says he's headed out the door. And, this is a lot to do with time here, folks. Let's bring this full circle here for you so you understand where I'm coming from. Let's go down deeper into that rabbit hole. Anybody remember the movie, the quantum physics movie, What the Bleep Do I Know? I think that was the title, What the Bleep Do I Know? It came out right after the movie The Secret. Anybody remember The Secret? About an Aussie woman. She made it sound like she found this secret that all the successful people of the world all over the place knew. And yet it wasn't really a secret. I mean, it was just something out of the Bible. You have not because you ask not, is what Jesus said. Pretty simple stuff. But how much of this stuff have we lost through time? And we lose stuff through time because we don't pay attention enough to what happens before us. So in other words, for most human beings who are not history buffs, time really begins when they start remembering their life, somewhere around the age of 3 or 4. That's when time really begins for people, for most people, especially today, millennials. You get the younger generation. And by the way, might I remind people that the leading edge millennials, what are they? They're turning 37. Because millennials were born, 1980, 81 was the millennial period started. So, they're heading into their mid, millennials are now, on the leading edge are now in their mid to late 30s. They're almost 40. If you're of an older generation, this is how you know that time is going by. If you look at the television, I've noticed this. When you look at television, and you're looking at the advertisements, the vast majority of the advertisements, the actors and models in them don't look like you. Now, and I'm not saying racially, by skin type or skin tone or hair color or whatever. I'm talking age-wise. You physically and mentally feel separated from it. Now, why is that? Well, because advertisers know that if you're over the age of 40, definitely over the age of 50, you're a harder target because you're already established and you've made your brand choices, and it's going to be very difficult to try to sway you. People in their 20s and early 30s, now that's the prime market. They're the ones that can still be swayed because they haven't made quote-unquote lifelong decisions yet. Their favorite brand, they can still be swayed. They can still be convinced to dump one brand and go for another. There's no brand loyalty for about the first 20 years of your adult life. From you're 18 to 20 to about 35 to 40, there is really not much brand loyalty, which is why they target all this advertising towards them. Now, how do you target that advertising towards them? Well, you got to use people that look like them, which is why it looks like all the time, everywhere, which is why some people get caught, where'd the time go? Because we're constantly reminded that youth is the most important thing on this planet, or at least in our culture. Youth is the most important, because every time you turn on the TV, it's perpetually 20-something. All the models everywhere are 20-something. All, the actors, and some of them survive into, past their 30s. We get a few of them like Brad Pitt, but we don't see them as often. We see all these a plethora, a parade of young stars in their 20s and early 30s. They're always in their 20s and early 30s. And it's kind of fascinating. Even there's a new TV show, Runaways. I'm still trying to get the gist. Are they mutants? I'm not sure yet. I mean, I've only seen the first 3 episodes of it. What are they? They're in the six deep now. It's. I'm kind of trying to watch it on Hulu. Maybe I'll catch another episode. But there's also The Gifted, and Runaways are part of the Marvel universe. So I guess they haven't come across any. Well, one of them is displaying some mutant behavior, but so I'm guessing they're all going to be mutants. But in any case, the actors who are playing, 16, 17-year-old high school juniors and seniors, they're like 20-something. And there's a reason behind that. Well, there's two. Well, one, because they really do look like they're still in high. Most of them still look like they're in high school. I mean, the perpetual youth. The longer you look like you can play you could be 25 years old and look like you're 16. You get a long career in Hollywood. At least you'll survive to 35. I mean, that's it's stupid as it sounds. That's true. There are more roles open for. And let's face it, Hollywood is now under scrutiny for a lot of sexual allegations, sexual harassment, including to against young people, pedophilia. I got a story here. LA Times. The LAPD is investigating not just Corey Feldman claims, but evidently there have been other. Now that Corey Feldman and you're not hearing this, I don't know why you're not hearing this in the news, but. The LAPD is now investigating pedophilia charges out there in Hollywood. So I don't know if they're going to end up with a special team. They've got two special sexual harassment teams now working all those cases. So now numbers more than 30. But there's also some pedophilia cases. Now, will that grow? Probably. But if you're a 20-year-old playing a 16-year-old, well, there's no pedophilia charges possible because you're an adult. And there are different laws and regulations when it comes to work. If you're a child, you can only work so many hours, which is why when you got little kids, babies and toddlers and stuff in some of these programs, usually they're always twins, because each child can only work so many hours a day, and that's it. That's the law. You got 3 hours with this kid. Okay, we got twins. Okay, so now we got 6 hours because each one can work 3. That's it. Whatever the time, I don't know what the time frame is, but you get the point. So we have this perpetual youth thing going on. So one day we wake up and recognize that people that we're watching and following on TV and in the movies no longer look like us. And we realize that we're old. But we're not old. We're still 40. Maybe we're 50. Could be 60. Okay, 70, you're pushing old. But you wake up one day and you realize you're in your 40s or your 50s, and you realize that the people on TV that you love so much, your entertainers that you love, they don't look like you anymore. And you wonder where time went. Because we're not paying attention all that closely. And so we're often shocked and surprised when reality once in a while slaps us in the face. Time is fleeting. But is it really? Is it not just a reminder that everything that we think changes actually is the same? It stays the same because there really is no concept in the universe of time. We have people come into our lives, they go out of our lives. Most of the time, does it really affect us? No. Now, when somebody dies, that's a permanent change. You're not going to get them back. I get that. There's a definite hole there. There's somebody missing that's always been around you, that's been around for a long period of time, or has been a favorite of yours. Think a parent, grandparent. They've always been there. And now all of a sudden you're reminded, well, there is this concept, no matter how we measure it, of time for the human being, but not for anything else. Our culture stays forever young. It's timeless. Just the faces change. So when we move into Washington, D.C., we're reminded once again that people in Washington can change one way or the other. The swamp monsters can change, and they do change, although slowly. And yes, I know we have a bunch of octogenarians and, for those of you in Rush Limbaugh's Real Linda, 80-year-olds. We've got a bunch of people in D.C. that are 70, 80, 90 years old. I get that, and some of them are leaving now. Some of them are being forced out, one way or the other. But we have this notion that when somebody who's supposedly younger, like Paul Ryan, decides to hang it up, we're like shocked. Well, wait, he kind of looks like us. You say, well, he kind of looks like me. He's too young to leave and retire. People like McCain and Maxine Waters and John Conyers, they don't look like us. Why? Because they're so damn old. We haven't gotten there yet. A 20-something or a 30-something looks at their parents and says, well, I don't look like them. They don't look like me. Why? Because their parents are 50 or 60 in their 50s or 60s. They haven't gotten there yet. Everything is relative. Time is relative. But in that relativity comes sameness. Oh my goodness, what is that? At least Paul Ryan was a Republican by name. What's going to happen now? Are we going to lose the seat? No, time is relative. Paul Ryan is relative. It isn't Paul Ryan's seat. It's not Paul Ryan. This is where we've got to get away from this stuff, folks. We've got to understand that this is a system. Our government is a system that is perpetual. It stays the same. The only thing that changes is we the people. And who we decide to have occupy those seats. And it doesn't have to be all that scary, but I know every time, somebody who's conservative decides that they're going to hang it up or retire, people on the conservative side, they get all scared. Why? Because they seem to think, well, because this person looks like me. They've been there for so long. They look like me. See, I turn on the TV and those kids, those people, they don't look like me. We're not of the same generation. That's where the problem comes in line. We're actually all the same generation. I don't care if you're 10 years old or if you're 100 years old. When it comes to time as we know it in this universe, we're all the same damn age. We're all here for such a very short period of time. And what I'm trying to tell you is you cannot be afraid of that time travel. Your journey through this short period of time, it always remains the same. Only does it change in your mind. And it doesn't really change there either. The only thing that changes is how you view it. And yeah, I know some people are saying, well, damn, he's gone a lot deeper than I ever wanted to go in this rabbit hole, man. I'm climbing out of here. No, hang with me here. Now, Paul Ryan said he's going to quit. We've had a couple of long time, they've been there forever, it seems like, people in Congress that are leaving for one reason or another. John McCain, he's ill, so he's done. John Conyers, he either age was going to take him out or if it wasn't the sexual scandal, he's 88, he's done. And there are a few others. Harry Reid is going away. And a lot of us saying to some of these people are saying, thank God, finally. But don't be so quick to say finally. Because believe it or not, we seem to accept the fact that, Harry Reid is going. There are a few people that say now we have a chance to flip the seat. Most people seem to think, well, it's just going to be another Harry Reid taking this place. And so what happens? Quantum physics says another Harry Reid takes the seat. What happens if Paul Ryan leaves? Well, Paul Ryan has held, he's been so popular in Wisconsin. He's held the seat for quite a number of years in Wisconsin, out of Wisconsin. Another Paul Ryan's going to take the seat. That's what's most likely going to happen. And that is simply because we go on this notion of human beings that we want to constantly see the same thing. Because somehow in our puny little minds, if we keep seeing the same thing, time does not march on. Are you following me finally? You turn on the TV and you're 50 years old and you realize that the people on TV no longer look like you. Now all of a sudden you feel old. But you look at Paul Ryan. And Paul Ryan says, I'm done. You're not having a conniption fit yet because you're thinking, well, we're just going to replace him with another Paul Ryan. Because that keeps you the same. Oh, we'll replace him with another. But the new Harry Reid is not going to be 70-some years old. No. But he's still going to be another Harry Reid. Still going to be another liberal, most likely. That keeps people who believe in that type of politics, that keeps them sane. That says everything is still the same. I'm not getting older. I'm not changing. Everything's the same. See, we put the same person back. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Even though there really is no such thing as time, it doesn't mean things don't change. Things out there in the universe change all the time. Stars die. Stars are still being born. It happens outside of time. We live in a universe. There is no time in this universe other than what we say it is. And we have this terrible notion of always wanting to keep things the same. We want our most of our entertainment to be done by in front of our eyes by the same age group. No matter how old we get, we still prefer that same age group. Believe it or not, I don't care how old you are. You may like Brad Pitt, who's in his 50s. But let me tell you, when it comes to the beautiful people, if you're 50 or 60 years old, who are you still going to the theater to see? You're still going to see people in their 20s and 30s. And when you're 70 years old and those people are now into their 40s, who are you still going to the movies to see? New people who are in their 20s and 30s. Why? Because you want to keep it the same. Because in your mind, in your puny little mind in this universe, yes, my mind is puny too. We want to keep things the same. Because somehow that prevents us from getting old. And that doesn't work. It just doesn't work, and it never will work because there is no real concept of time. There is no real year. It's 365 days on this planet. It's 600 and some odd days on Mars. It's less than 30 days on that planet that rotates on that sun 100 or 250,000 light years away. Are you starting to get it now? Oh boy, I'm not done yet.
Hello, America. It's me, your history. I remember a time when we thumbed our nose in a king's face, sent him packing. And when fascists and emperors talked a little bit too loud, we showed up, tore their cities to the ground, and then rebuilt them just to prove we could. We put men on the moon, we won a Cold War, and we elected fearless leaders who led fearless people. What the hell happened to you, America? Back in my day, we didn't elect a big-eared community organizer. We punched him in the kidney. Maybe it's time you came home, America. Home where you belong.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
This is Free America broadcasting on the Rod Eccles Show with a message to all patriots trapped behind the lines in California, New York, Boston, and Chicago. Don't give up, true lovers of America. Even as we speak, moves are being made to drive the invaders back to the land from which they came. Defeat the would-be dictators and lift the chains of tyranny from around your neck. Stay strong. Stay brave. You're not forgotten, and you're not alone. Until next time, patriots, this is Free America signing out.
One of the things that you have to understand when it comes to this stuff, and let's bring it into, try to pull this into perspective here, folks. Even though that we get stuck in a, what some people might call a time loop, we're all stuck in one. We're stuck in a time loop of our own making. We're stuck in Alabama. Everybody's kind of shocked that that's a Democrat won the Alabama seat now. And we're looking for all kinds of anomalies to satisfy what, well, hey, there was voter fraud. Well, we know there's fraud down there. Fraud. There's no way Judge Moore would have lost if this was a true fair election. No. We're looking for ways to keep. We were looking for ways to keep the seat the same because we wanted another Jeff Sessions. And then comes along this Democrat Jones, and comes along Roy Moore, who was accused of, according to some conservatives, credible allegations. And it blew our minds because the concept is, well, things are going to change? Oh, no, we can't have change. No, we can't change at all. Folks, we can and we should change. That's how we got Donald Trump.
Have you ever thought to yourself, I'm a leftist elite Hollywood a-hole? If so, good news. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College is now open, featuring such courses as unemployment is not paid vacation. No, Americans don't want to spend $19 for an order of french fries, and the ever popular shut the hell up. Why, just listen to this big-time celebrity endorsement.
I'm not Rosie O'Donnell, and I think this school's offensive, sexist, and racist.
And I think you're a giant a-hole who needs to shut the hell up. Hey, we teach a course in that. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College, where being an a-hole is not a guarantee you'll be an A student.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not.
It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please, call or go online right now.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and always stay in the kitchen when cooking at high temperatures. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
And now, a message from the American Migraine Foundation.
It's an absolute nightmare. I was terrified. It was like your head's going to explode.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
Just all of a sudden couldn't see.
Migraine has ruined my life.
Absolutely terrifying.
There's pain that does not stop.
It's a throbbing, pulsing, banging, hammering feeling in your head.
36 million Americans suffer.
I started getting migraines around 5 years old.
Just takes over everything.
I feel trapped by migraine.
It hurts like my head's gonna fall off.
And the whole world around you stops.
My world has gotten small.
You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do.
I had spent a year housebound.
It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Visit AmericanMigraineFoundation.org to find help, learn more, and get connected.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
And so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance, in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. It is I, your lovable host, Rod, coming to you live from the bunkerized studio located somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire on this Friday morning.
Welcome to Freedom Friday.
Yes, indeed. It is Friday, December number 15 in the year of our Lord 2017, as we march along with hour number 2, the fastest 3 hours on Internet Talk Radio, which is right here. On Fridays, we like to take things a little bit lighter if you are new to the program, so now you know. We still talk about some of the heavier things, like quantum physics, but we still get into the lighter stuff, like what we're going to talk about coming up this hour. Now, I got some Matt Damon news for you. In case, got to get into celebrity stuff, right? Yes, indeed, you got to get into celebrity stuff for people to pay attention. So, welcome back to you liberty lovers and ecclesiastites all across the globe. Before we get to Matt Damon, however, one of the reasons the world is falling apart to some liberals now. It's not really falling apart. It's going back to the way it used to be. but in their eyes, it's falling apart. Because yesterday, the regulators, FCC, abolished so-called net neutrality. Now, it was anything but net neutrality, really. It was, government, liberal government wanting to run the show of... Now, folks, let's understand something here. When it comes to anybody watching the program The Orville, I'm getting a little bit upset with it actually, because not last night. I didn't watch last night, but last week's episode was another bash on religion, specifically Christianity. And they were. I know it's just entertainment, but folks, let's be clear about this now. Now that's the kind of drivel. No, Seth MacFarlane. What is he? He's 40s now. I don't know how old he is. Doesn't matter. But other than Brangelina, I mean, let's not get into that. Get off track here. What is it about the left that seems to want to attack all the traditions, all what humanity has come to understand is, well, Rod, you're talking about changing things. No, this is not change. Bashing religion is not change. Is not bringing forth change. Because, we've always bashed religion, which is why we create new religions. Some religions are created out of spite from other religions, which I'm convinced that And the Bible is pretty clear on this. I'm convinced that's how Islam got started. It was completely and utterly and totally to spite the Jew, the Hebrew, and to try to take him, because it's a family squabble, basically, still going on. But in any case, on the Orville, they're bashing, they're showing how easy it could possibly be to start a religion because of a space alien. And this is supposed to be how our religions here on this planet got started, actually, is what they're trying to say, is that we had some visitors from another planet, came down to primitive man. The problem with that is that we're learning that primitive man is not so primitive. So what did they do in order to make it fit? Well, primitive man was really primitive. It was stupid. And it was the aliens that taught them how to do mathematics and how to build pyramids and stuff, because we didn't know how to do it. As humans, we didn't know how to do it. This is all alien technology that did it for us, which is why we thought they were gods. And the reason why those gods haven't come back is because, they were alien forms that died. They're not living anymore. They're gone. Well, in any case, what we've got now is, but this is the type of stuff that we're supposed to always want on TV, right? Things like Tim Allen's show, which were more celebrating more traditional Judeo-Christian ethics. Now we can't have those on TV anymore. By the way, I got some news on Roseanne too. Regulators, in order to take things back to the way that they used to be, so that we can have more. Now what we've got look, this whole thing for so-called net neutrality, I understand why some people might get a little scared with it, but understand that there are some other juggernauts that are coming along that are going to flip all this stuff on its head. And the reason that you can't have government regulating is because government doesn't know anything about it. It really doesn't. And these so-called regulators, most of them have never, ever actually worked within the industry. And those that have, they've left the industry because, they're now in a spiteful mood because they were forced out. Well, that shouldn't have happened that way. And they all try to mold a particular, it doesn't matter the department, the regulatory department. They all try to mold the system to the way they feel it should be. Not what's necessarily best, not the way that it's naturally wanting to go, but the way they feel it should be. Well, when it comes to the internet, when it was embraced by private technology, when it was embraced by, private commercialism, that's when it took off. When government completely controlled it, before it was, government and academia, before it was really in the hands of the public, it went nowhere for years. And then finally somebody's decided, well, what happens if we did this? If we made a universal browser so that anybody, not just military or academics, could browse the internet. And then then we got things like Netscape and a couple of other browsers that came along in the early days. And so we got those. And then what if somebody made it easier to find stuff? We aggregated what's all on the internet out there. We aggregated it and made it simpler for people to search. And we got Yahoo. And we got Google. And then a whole plethora of others. None of that was government. That was all private individuals putting up their own time, money, and effort. And those two things were probably the biggest sparks of the internet. Having a browser, a universal browser that anybody could utilize, and having an aggregate to make things easier to find. An aggregator. A search engine. Basically. Yahoo and Google. Now, 30 years ago, none of those companies existed. Well, yeah, you can go back to 94 for things like, 94, 95 for things like Netscape and stuff. But, Yahoo, Google didn't exist 30 years ago. They were not around in 94. They were not around in 84. But now Google's one of the biggest corporations on the planet. Some of our biggest companies on the planet are surrounded by or built on what we call modern technology, electronic age. I know Apple goes back to the 70s like Microsoft, but we like to think of them as being fairly new. Again, that whole concept of time doesn't really count, does it? Seems like they're pretty new. No, they've been around for, 40, 50 years now. But here we have these people who think that after all of this effort by private individuals to make the internet what it is, up until a couple of years ago, that all of a sudden now it needs to be regulated by government. Government can take it from here. No, it can't. Government didn't build it. Government didn't sponsor it. Government didn't promote it. Government didn't develop it. Well, government was involved in the development of the first. Yeah, and how, laying the cable, but that was it. And they were trying to use it for military purposes, but that was it. Now think about this. Government, the military was trying to use the so-called early stage of the internet for military purposes. But now, do they have their own proprietary stuff? No, they use basically off the shelf, or they go to some private corporation and say, build us this. Government doesn't do it. It's private enterprise. But some people in government think that now that they know what's better and how better to run the internet than the private enterprise that built it. Well, that became net neutrality because, hey, if you leave this in the hands of private companies, well, some people are going to, some companies are going to get favorable treatment and other companies are not. Now understand that this whole promotion of this, keep the net neutral, keep it free and open, all of that kind of stuff that was said was being promoted by internet companies that have been known to stifle people's free expression and free speech. Twitter was big behind, net neutrality. Well, what was Twitter doing? Twitter was not only suspending people, but eliminating people from their platform. They have every right to do it. It's their platform. But you don't be a hypocrite. You want to talk about being hypocritical. Facebook, the same way. They were getting rid of people left and right and punishing people that they didn't agree with or didn't like. And yet they're out there saying, well, we need to have an open and fair internet. Well, why? They're not being open and fair. And Google, and you're probably somebody, well, Google's an aggregator. No, Google is not just a search engine and aggregator. Google owns a bunch of stuff, including YouTube. How many people have been shut down or kicked off YouTube? That's not being fair, neutral, and open. Is it? Well, these companies and others like them were huge behind this net neutrality thing because they were afraid, well, geez, too much, Comcast or some other ISP, well, it might, slow down our feed. The only people who really have to worry about their feed being slowed down, and it's not on their end, but the customer end, would be companies that do streaming stuff like Netflix. I can see them being a little bit upset, but here's how you fix that. You get rid of more government regulations so you have real competition in the ISP realm. And so if people want to buy ultra super fast stuff, they can get it. They can buy it. But if they can't afford it, they can still get on the internet. You can't. Having everybody the same has never worked. That's called socialism and communism. That's never worked. They want to bring the socialism, communistic type of attitude to the internet by saying, well, everybody's going to get the same kind of speed and everybody's going to get the same kind of bandwidth. No, it doesn't work. This is how we get stupid cable TV. Everybody, you go from one cable provider to the next. Doesn't matter what town you live in. You're pretty much going to get the same damn stuff. You're going to get your basic cable, and it's going to be, half of it's going to be home shopping channels that you never watch. And you're also, 25% is going to be home shopping channels and 25% is going to be Spanish language networks that, one, you don't even understand anyway. So half the networks that are on the basic cable, you don't watch or can't understand, but you're paying for it anyway. That's net neutrality. Because everything's the same. You can't get what you want. So everything is going to be the same. So everybody has the same thing. Because we can't have somebody that has something better than you. Oh, no. That's not fair. Well, getting rid of net neutrality now makes things more fair. Now the rules that were being discussed were in a heated hearing that was stopped briefly because of a bomb threat, as protesters rallied outside the office building where the meeting was held. People are so serious about this that they're going to threaten to bomb the building. You think that's going to stop them from deregulating? No. It's government. No, it never stops. You can slow it down maybe by a few days, but you're not going to stop it. This is how stupid these people on the left are. But again, they're really not all that different from the rest of us. They want things to stay the same. But this is new. But they want to control things, which is not new. Well,
you're listening to the Rod Eccles Show, the coolest, most politically incorrect, conservative black man on the planet.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said to me, I bet you won't lend me money to buy an electric guitar. Well, he was making $100 a week, and he was over 18, and I said, I bet you I will lend you money to buy an electric guitar. And I did. So what happens? The punk gets busted for possession of dangerous drugs, and we're out $350. There's one thing about kids nowadays. You don't have to give them credit.
Universal Bank. We trust you. About as far as we can throw you.
Yeah, go tell it on the mountain. Now, of course, that means it is time for today's Christmas song for this hour, and it is from one that goes by the name of Billy Gorilly, Gorilly, Billy Gorilly, and his version of Deck the Halls. Gorilly, Deck the Halls, his version of Deck the Halls. A little lively and jubilant. Now, if we had government regulation, over-regulation of the net, I might not be able to play that because it wouldn't be fair. Trying to keep everything fair, I'd be spending part of this time allowing somebody, some Neanderthal, come on this program to give their opposite. Can you imagine? Well, you're going to play Deck the Halls? I'm going to play some non-Christian music, Christmas songs then. I get to play a non-Christian. For every Christmas song I get to play. That's what net neutrality was all about. You know, that's what they considered to be fair. A lot of people probably don't remember the time when the news had to be fair. The news had their commentary. There could be, then there had, you get an opinion and commentary. This is the news commentary. And they had to have a rebuttal. And they have equal time. They call it equal time. And that, when Reagan got rid of that, because that was just a bunch of BS. It was stupid. Reagan eliminated that. But they wanted to bring that kind of thing back to the internet, the leftists did. And make sure that everything was fair, everything was balanced. So if it was on the internet, you had to have a rebuttal. You had to give people, this program, I would have to give somebody equal time to disparage me and you, the listener. Nobody was going to listen to that garbage. But that's what they call open and fair. And everybody's going to get the same slow speed. Not fast. We weren't going to get any ultra fast. Everybody's going to get the same slow speed. Liberals don't like anything that they cannot control. That's the whole point. This massive thing called the internet was invented and created without the liberal, and it became big without the liberal, and they can't stand that something happened without them.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, Who we listen to?
Jeffrey.
Marcia Gay Harden? What?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye? I mean, I would have. Visit brainhealth.gov.
Every day, 70,000 puppies or kittens are born in the U.S. Cute, right? What's not cute is that half of all litters are accidents, which leads to millions killed in shelters each year. Turns out, those little cuties can get pregnant sooner than you think. But here's the good news. You can stop the accident before it happens. When you bring home a pet, get them fixed at 4 months old. Prevent more. Fix at month 4. Visit fixat4.com for more information. Brought to you by Best Friends Animal Society.
There's a threat targeting America. One that's growing fast, but may still be hard to see. Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, often smaller than the head of a pin. This dangerous disease is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. And if left untreated, it can lead to arthritis, facial paralysis, and even memory and concentration problems, often called brain fog. As the threat of Lyme disease grows to more than 300,000 projected cases each year, it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside, even in your own backyard. It means seeing a doctor if you experience the symptoms of Lyme disease, which can include joint pain, flu-like symptoms, fever, fatigue, or sometimes a bullseye-shaped rash. Set your sights on stopping Lyme. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event!
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
We're here early before they wake up. We stay late, we stay informed, we invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
We do this not because it's our job, but because this is about our veterans' lives. This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
Hi, this is Kelsey Grammer. When military service members head into battle, none are expected to face the enemy alone, but many return home and become isolated as they struggle with the visible and invisible wounds of war. It can be difficult knowing how to overcome that challenge and rekindle bonds similar to those formed in the military. Wounded Warrior Project supports these injured veterans through their recoveries by connecting them with fellow warriors and their communities. No one should fight this battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
By the way, if you want to be really, really famous, really, really fast on the internet, I guess all you got to do is just do something extravagant, like post a nude
I'm not Rod Eccles, and I approve this message.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
A couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said, "I'll bet you're a Nazi." Well, I love America, support the Constitution, and believe in capitalism. So I told him I'm not a Nazi, and I'm not. So what happens? The punk breaks out 2 windows and pepper sprays an elderly woman in the face. You know, there's one thing about long-haired young people nowadays. They're real assholes. Long-haired young people. You suck.
No more internet, no more net neutrality. No, we don't want no the internet neutrality because it's not really neutral. Well, it's not when it comes to that kind of stuff. So they got rid of net neutrality. Hey, ABC's Roseanne reboot. You know, it's supposed to be taking the place of Tim Allen's Last Man Standing. They set it's set for a spring premiere date. And everybody's back, including, it looks like, even Dan Goodman. And both of the girls, well, now they're women. Both the girls that played the eldest daughter, I guess, is back, and they're not going to have some of the cast back. Well, like Johnny Galecki, well, he's big over there on what is it, that space thing, not space science, about the nerds. I don't know. I don't watch it, so I don't even know the name. Anyway, what does he play? He plays a science teacher, professor, or something. I don't know. What's the other guy? He's also Sheldon. You see Sheldon all over the place. That's why I know him. He's also kind of a goofball. Thinks he's really smart, but realizes he's not the smartest person in the room. But likes to think that he's the smartest person. Anyway. So ABC is improbable full cast revival of Roseanne is real. Now it has a premiere date. Fans of the show can find out just how the heck Dan Connors is still alive when the 9-episode 10th season debuts with a special hour-long episode on Tuesday, March 27th at 8 p.m. So, yeah, John Goodman is back as Dan Connor. Well, we remember the whole thing, that whole last season where she was rich, won the lottery. I think it was a spoof, right? It was thrown off as it was a dream. She was dreaming. But yeah, the full cast from the show's original run is returning for a new go-round, including Roseanne Barr, John Goodman, Laurie Metcalf, Sarah Gilbert, Michael Fishman, and both Beckys are coming back. Lacey Goranson, who originated the character, will play her on the revival, and Sarah Schalk, who will play a new character. Evidently, Johnny Galecki, who is currently stars in The Big Bang Theory, is also returning for a single episode. So he can't. Well, he's going to be too busy doing. That's the name of his hit show, I guess, Big Bang Theory. It's a really stupid show, really. But a lot of people like it, evidently. That's called freedom. Government would take away that choice to watch it.
It was just another quiet Saturday at the Johnson home.
Honey, have you seen the hammer?
It's in the garage.
Oh, no, not the garage.
Later that same day...
Dad, I can't find the bicycle pump.
Son, I'm afraid it's in the garage.
The garage?
Then the following Tuesday...
Howard, where's the car?
It's in the garage.
Does your garage look like a giant yard sale without the yard? Do you cringe at the thought of entering your garage? Then you need Crest Garage Cabinets. With one phone call, those wonderful folks at Crest will come out to your home, design the best combination of cabinets for you, and install them quickly and professionally before your very eyes.
It's a miracle.
And unlike other companies who ask for a down payment or money up front, you won't pay a penny until your Crest cabinets are installed to your satisfaction. So call Crest today, toll-free at 1-800-548-2848. That's 1-800-548-2848. And you'll never fear going into your garage again.
And now, a message from the American Migraine Foundation.
It's an absolute nightmare. I was terrified. It was like your head's gonna explode.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
Just all of a sudden couldn't see.
Migraine has ruined my life.
Absolutely terrifying.
There's pain that does not stop.
It's a throbbing, pulsing, banging, hammering feeling in your head.
36 million Americans suffer.
I started getting migraines around 5 years old.
Just takes over everything.
I feel trapped by migraine.
It hurts like my head's gonna fall off.
And the whole world around you stops.
My world has gotten small.
You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do.
I had spent a year housebound. It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Visit AmericanMigraineFoundation.org to find help, learn more, and get connected.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving. because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
and so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Hour number 3. First 2 hours are already in the can. Fastest 3 hours of Internet Talk Radio powered by Zinc Media Arts. Welcome back to you, liberty lovers and ecclesiastites all across the globe. Here it is on Friday. Welcome to Freedom Friday. Yes, Friday, December number 15 in the year of our Lord, 2017, which means you got 10 days left, 9 shopping days, 10 left, 10 days before, 10 days left until Christmas. Now we're halfway through the month with only approximately 2 weeks left of the entire year. What is the rest of the year going to be like? Well, the rest of the year is only about 2 weeks. It's what, 15 days, 16 days. That's left. A little 2 weeks and 2 days. That's all we got. But we're taking things a little bit lighter today. as we normally do, trying to get through a lot of stuff that we didn't get through during the week, plus some of the new stuff that's popped up overnight. But we're falling behind here, so we're going to try to run through all of this, and as well as get you the Christmas song of the hour, plus today's holidays, other than the Christmas and Hanukkah season. Got a lot of stuff out there that is in the paper pile, both the physical paper and the electronic paper. This is from Reuters, presidential hopefuls want Finland out of the EU. And says nationalists will bounce back. Yes, there are Finnish people that want out of, well, they're kind of tired of some of the EU mandates. They're kind of tired of the European overregulation, pretty much. Now, which is really kind of surprising, consider how overregulated Finland is, and overtaxed Finland is. You know, Finland is a country with one of the world's highest tax rates, but Finland will leave the European. But however, they did have a tax cut recently. Well, they couldn't have tax increases. They were already a marginal rate of like 75% or something like that. It was ridiculous with it, because everything is free or provided by the government there, So, but, hell, you can live on 30% of your income. Why the hell do you need to have money? Kind of like Sweden. You have private property, but you don't. Oh, it's for everybody. Anyway, Finland will leave the European Union and position itself as the Switzerland of the North to protect its independence. If Laura Huhtasaari, the presidential candidate of the Eurosceptic Finns party, has her way. Now, you spell her last name Huhts, or H. Let's start over. Huhtasaari. Huhtasaari is what I'm going to say. It doesn't sound Finnish, but it sounds more Asian. But believe me, she's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned, Finnish-looking woman. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's married to an Asian. Anyway, she also told Reuters in an interview she wants to tighten immigration rules. That's the whole crux of it, because Finland is like the rest of the Nordic countries, Sweden, Norway, with very big problems with this refugee stuff that's forced on them by Brussels. Huhtasaari, dubbed Finland's Marine Le Pen after France's National Labour Front leader, is a long shot, but she believes she has a real chance in the January election, as her party has taken a fresh start following its removal from the coalition government back in June. The rise of Europe in Europe of parties that are critical towards the EU and immigration is due to bad, unjust policies, she said. The role of Finland in the Eurozone is the role of a loser and a payer. She said, I don't want Finland to become a province of EU, she said. Finns must stand up for Finland's interest. The Finns party, formerly called True Finns, rose from obscurity during the Eurozone debt crisis with an anti-EU platform, complicating the bloc's bailout talks with the troubled states. And so now the Finnish people are getting a little bit tired. Well, considered a long shot, but I don't know by whose standards. They said the same thing about Marine Le Pen until she ended up in the final election and almost won. By the way, understand that if you pretty much like our electoral map. If you look at the French electoral map, the amount of territory that Marine Le Pen won is staggering. The amount of land territory that Donald Trump won in this country is staggering. The problem only comes into play in some of these liberal enclaves, just like in here, but just like it's same thing in France. What is Paris? Is a city of 12 million people? Well, the big cities of France, very liberal because they don't want to be, seen as being not liberal because that's where all the rich people are. You know, we're enlightened and international. By the way, Paris is still a beautiful city. I would love to go back. Now, they haven't had any terrorist incidents recently, I guess. They've had a couple of months of being terror. At least they're not reporting any real terrorist incidents. They've been a couple of months terror-free. You know the problem with international travel, especially in Europe, is terrorism is popping up all over the place. Look, even here in it's kind of scary to even think about. You could go to New York City and get blown up now. I mean, that's. But we have liberals who want to placate these people. I'm telling you, you kick them out of your countries, you send them back to the Middle East where they can kill each other and leave the rest of the world alone. It's not a difficult proposition to take care of this terrorist stuff. You kick these people out of your countries, you send them back from whence they came, and look at countries that refuse to take these so-called refugees or deal with this so-called refugee or immigration issue from the Middle East. The Eastern European bloc has said, oh, hell no, we ain't dealing with that. They don't have a terrorism problem. Think about that for a second. You got Asian countries who don't let these people in. They don't have a terrorism problem. The only people that have terrorism problems are Western nations that have this stupid policy because they think they're so enlightened and so much better than everybody else on the planet that they're going to be so open arms and just allow these people to come in and kill them. Oh, you hate us? Oh, come on in. We're going to get you to love us. Doesn't work that way. Well, the Finns are starting to have had enough of this. Wait, they're thinking, we're paying so much of our income in taxes, and half of it's now going out the door to the EU and their stupid policies. Oh, hell no. We're tired of this. Now, I don't know what a Finnish accent really sounds like. I don't know anybody who's Finnish. I take that. Well, I know people who are of Finnish descent. Up in northern Michigan, when we used to live there, there's a lot of Finns and Norwegian descent people that live up in the northern Michigan, and in the a lot of Norwegian and Finnish and Swedish people live in Minnesota and Wisconsin. So I know people of Nordic descent, but I don't know anybody from Finland directly. Because I don't think I do. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I do know a couple of Swedes directly from Sweden. But I don't know any Finns. I do know a Norwegian couple. Yes, they live in Connecticut. Well, but I don't know any Finns. I'm really trying to think of I know a Norwegian couple. They're both they were married in Norway. They're obviously both from Norway, and they immigrated here, and they live in Connecticut now. They did live in Massachusetts, but he got a job. She was in medical insurance field. Well, perfect for that. When she got here, she got into the insurance field. But he's a medical person, not a doctor, but something else in medicine. And he came to Massachusetts, and he went to Boston University for something in medicine. And then he got a job and they moved to Connecticut. So I know a Norwegian. They're here legally, Norwegian couple. I know a few Swedes, but I don't know any Finns. I'm gonna have to change that. If you're Finnish and you live in New England, connect with me. I need to know a Finlander directly from Finland. Now, don't tell me, well, yeah, my grandfather was from Finland. I've met enough of people of Finnish descent. Nah, I don't need to know any more of those. Sorry. Just if you are a real Finlander, do you like being called a Finlander? I don't know. Because I don't know any Finnish people, so I don't know if it's derogatory or not to say Finlander. I really don't. Because there aren't many Finns anyway, people from Finland. Did you know that most Europeans, when it comes to Santa Claus, their Father Christmas or their Santa Claus, in most European traditions, like England, Britain, the Nordic countries, even France and other places, Father Christmas lives in Lapland, not the North Pole. I actually learned that this year. So you can always learn something new. The majority, Italians, the majority of these countries that have a Father Christmas tale or a Santa Claus tale, he's from Lapland, not the North Pole. I don't know how we got the idea that he's from the North Pole. Well, Lapland is in Finland, and it's one of the most northern parts of the Finnish territory. It's within the Arctic Circle, so I guess that's how it came about. But we Americans, we don't want to have Santa Claus in somebody else's country, so I guess that's how he got. Well, he's already up there in Lapland in the Arctic Circle. Let's just move him to the North Pole, where the aliens are. There are people that believe that Santa Claus is kind of real, but it's not Santa, it's aliens. Yeah, I'm just like in the South Pole. In Antarctica, yeah, there's aliens down there. I'm not kidding you, folks. Not making this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. But this is how we get Santa Claus. Santa Claus is a government invention to cover up aliens at the North Pole. Some people believe that. I'm not kidding you. But hey, if you are a Finn from Finland, I guess you can't say Finlander, but if you are a Finn from Finland, then connect with me somehow. I need to know somebody direct. I don't know anybody directly from Finland. So it'd be kind of nice to know somebody directly from Finland. Americans are spending more than expected as holiday season heats up. I don't know why the Wall Street Journal would have this article. They're spending more than expected. November retail sales are up 0.8% from prior month. Economists only saw a 0.3% increase because they are still thinking in terms of the Obama economy and the Obama administration, not Trump. Look, this is what you get and what you can do when you get rid of government when you start getting rid of too many regulations. When you start paring down and paring back unnecessary government regulations, you start freeing up the free enterprise market and things start to heat up and people start participating in the free enterprise market. And that causes, lots of things to go up. The stock market to go up, sales to go up, employment to go up. All that kind of stuff goes up. That's the way it works. Then you start introducing regulation and it stifles all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's the way that works too, by the way.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
We've all heard of male enhancement,
But now, there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Yes, love hurts. It can hurt emotionally, but more important, it can also hurt you physically. It can hurt you in a way which nobody who owns a hot tub and lives in California can afford to be unaware of. Yes, I'm talking about California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. This painful, incurable disease can make an enjoyable soak in a hot tub with family, friends, and dog into a literally unforgettable experience. If you catch California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, not only will you walk around feeling like you're about to pass a twisted sardine can lid, you'll also smell like a pile of burning tractor tires. So don't jump out of the frying pan and into the hot tub, because if you get California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, it'll really burn your ass.
This has been a public service message brought to you by the Citizens Against CHTRG Foundation. California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. We're not going to take it sitting down.
Sing. Indeed. And with that, we are going to get to our last Christmas song of the day. It Came Upon the Midnight Clear. There you have it. Came Upon the Midnight Clear by William Billy Van Horn, a very talented individual. And a good friend of mine, by the way. Well, yeah, he's over on Facebook, too, if you want to check him out. William Billy Van Horn, just as it sounds. The holidays for today, December number 15. Today is Free Shipping Day. Yeah, it's one of the many days dedicated to shopping that takes place around this holiday season. You can get some free shipping, even if you're not an Amazonian on Amazon. Wow, there it is, free shipping day. It's also Bill of Rights Day. This is a day observed annually on December 15th, when we celebrate the Bill of Rights, something that the left should probably read. All you leftists should probably read the Bill of Rights. It's also Cat Herders Day. Ever try to herd cats? Yeah, well, today we celebrate the people who do herd cats. There is nobody that herds. This is just stupid. But anyway, Cat Herders Day. It is also International Tea Day, as opposed to Coffee Day. It's National Lemon Cupcake Day, as well as National Cupcake Day. Today is dedicated to the cupcake, but it's also dedicated to the lemon cupcake. So lemon cupcakes get their own day. Well, that's the same day as the regular cupcakes, but you have two. So how do you celebrate? Go out and bake some cupcakes, but just don't bake any cupcake. Bake lemon cupcakes and eat some of those. Take them to work with you. Go out and get some during lunch. And you got lunch in about a half hour. Go out and get some. When you go to lunch, go to the bakery, get some lemon cupcakes, and bring it back to all your fellow coworkers in your office, and share in celebrating National Lemon Cupcake Day. It's also Underdog Day. No, not the cartoon. Just little old me, underdog. No, it's the Small Dog Day, basically. It's also National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. This is now a really big thing. I think it should be naturally, not a sweater that you make to be ugly, but actually go out and find an ugly sweater that they actually sold in the store as something that was pretty. That's better. That's a true ugly sweater.
You might be surprised to learn who has Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Nearly 1 in 200 Americans are suffering with a debilitating pain and constant disruption of these inflammatory bowel diseases, or IBD. Chances are you know someone with IBD. For example, your neighbor or coworker. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation was created to help patients cope and to find a cure. People with IBD can't wait. Won't you help someone you know? Visit www.escapethestall.com today.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C, but most people don't know they are infected. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you can still have hepatitis C, a serious liver disease that often has no symptoms. In fact, people can live with hepatitis C for decades without feeling or looking sick. But over time, hepatitis C can cause serious health problems, including liver damage, liver failure, or even liver cancer. Getting tested is the only way to know if you're infected with hepatitis C. That's why the CDC recommends everyone born from 1945 to 1965 get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments are available that can cure this disease. So talk to your doctor about getting tested. It could save your life. A message from the CDC.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? Shifting to a system based on primary care can help fix the problem. Patients with a primary care doctor live longer, healthier lives and are less likely to suffer from cancer, heart disease, or stroke. Primary care that is comprehensive and coordinated also saves money. Patients who have a primary care doctor spend 30% less on health care than patients who don't. States with a high number of primary care doctors have lower health care costs and higher quality care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
It's been called shell shock, war neurosis, and battle fatigue. Today, we call it post-traumatic stress disorder, and it affects 1 out of every 5 warriors returning from battle in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Wounded Warrior Project offers comfort and support for warriors with PTSD and all other scars of war, whether those scars are visible or hidden. Find out how to help, because for warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Please visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
The Amazon's rainforest is being cut down so fast that by 2030, 55% of it could be completely wiped out. The Earth's forests can't speak up when they need help, but we can. Be the voice for those who have no voice. Visit worldwildlife.org.
There's a threat targeting America. One that's growing fast, but may still be hard to see. Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, often smaller than the head of a pin. This dangerous disease is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. And if left untreated, it can lead to arthritis, facial paralysis, and even memory and concentration problems, often called brain fog. As the threat of Lyme disease grows to more than 300,000 projected cases each year, it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside, even in your own backyard. It means seeing a doctor if you experience the symptoms of Lyme disease, which can include joint pain, flu-like symptoms, fever, fatigue, or sometimes a bullseye-shaped rash. Set your sights on stopping Lyme. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will we listen to?
Jeffrey. Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye? I mean, I would have. Visit brainhealth.gov.
Welcome back. There is some other news out there today in the pop music world. I guess Eminem, otherwise government name Marshall Mathers. His name is Marshall, which is why he goes by the moniker Eminem. I think his middle name begins with an N, like Nicholas or something, but Marshall Mathers. Eminem, and he had to spell it Eminem, so he doesn't, like, it's not M ampersand M, because that's a trademark candy. But Eminem has a new album that leaked out online. Yeah, it leaked. It leaked out. It leaked out online. The album titled Revival has been panned by many fans. Well, I always said that the reason why Eminem burst on the scene to begin with and why he was so good is because in his early days, he was just an angry white boy. He was an angry young man. He was very angry. He's like, pretty much like Tupac. He was an angry black man. But then somewhere along the, you can't keep that anger up forever. He got married, divorced, but he got married, had kids, got divorced, and he's back with his baby mama, right? Haley's mama. And have anybody seen Haley Mathers? Gorgeous girl, by the way. Wouldn't know that she came from Eminem's loins, but A beautiful girl. But he's got a new his comeback. I didn't know he went anywhere, but okay. So his comeback album is not getting such. Now you have to also understand that the reason why it's getting mixed reviews instead of being hailed as another gem from Eminem, because everything else he's done before is, yeah, it's a great album. It's going to be a history-making album, man. He's a rap god. Now everybody's like, what the hell is this, Eminem? Well, I mean, he's getting mixed reviews. Some fans are liking it. I haven't really seen anybody that's loving on it, really. Not en masse. But some fans are liking it, and some fans are like, what the hell is this? This is garbage, man. And it could be because of the fact that his anger is back, but it's kind of a fake anger because it's an anger that against Trump. And I don't know if any of the songs are anti. I think there are some anti-Trump songs in this album, and I think Eminem, I think Marshall has misread and misjudged a big portion portion of his fan base. I think that's what's gonna come out of this. So. There have been some positive as well as some scathing negative about his new album, which I guess is not actually supposed to drop until, tomorrow or Tuesday? It's usually on a Tuesday, right? Tuesday or so. Astronomers are saying, speaking of alien stuff, as I talked about it earlier today with the planet out there that they found that has a I think it's a 14-day year. I mean, it's just, can you imagine being on, how do you catch up to that thing? Anyway, an alien probe entered our solar system. This is from late last week, however. Astronomers are set to scan an alien comet for signs of extraterrestrial signals. It's a cigar-shaped object named, I can't even pronounce this, Oumuamua. Oumuamua. I have no idea where that is. That Hawaiian? It sailed past Earth last month. The mysterious comet is the first interstellar object seen in our solar system. I don't know how they know it's interstellar. I mean, I guess comets aren't comets are within our. They have this. They're within our solar system. They just have a very long or very large orbit. Now a team of alien hunting scientists led by Russian billionaire Yuri Milner is scanning the object for radio signals. You know what? If this is actually true, I wonder if there are any towns above the Arctic Circle line in Alaska that are still there. Remember, what was it? There was a movie about that, right? 30 Days of Nights. Yeah, let's go back. A real 30. They're vampires on that comet. Or on that thing, whatever it is. Yeah, cigar-shaped object. Astronomers are set to scan the alien comet for signs of extraterrestrial technology. It sailed past Earth last month and is the first interstellar object seen in our solar system that we know of. A team of alien hunting scientists will scan the comet before it sails beyond the reach of Earth's telescopes. It's an interesting thing. It looks, well, we've seen spaceships that look like this thing. You better hope that there's no alien life forms on there. They're most likely going to be space vampires. Oh my goodness! This stuff is it's. I like to look at stuff that's out there, in outer space, but sometimes these people just get a little crazy with alien sightings. Did you know that when what was it? Close Encounters of the Third Kind came out, that there was a sharp uptick in people seeing aliens and spaceships. Yeah, this is people. Well, you call it what do they call it? Mass hallucination or mass hypnosis. That's Steven Spielberg, which is a classic now. That Steven Spielberg movie caused mass hypnosis. People saw. Even I, after I saw it as a kid, I saw the stupid little Devil's Tower in the clouds. Look, there's Devil's Tower. Man, there's aliens around. This is mass hypnosis. That's all it is. It's the same thing. People are going to start saying there's cigar-shaped spacecraft flying around now because of this thing was flying by us. And so here's from Australia, I guess, how the law responds when emojis are the weapon of choice. Yes, emojis.
Emojis are everywhere.
Now, it may seem harmless, but a growing number of people have been thrown in jail for their use of the emoji language. I'm not kidding you. Emojis can be viewed as overly simplistic in some contexts, so goes news.com.au. For example, government officials were questioned when Foreign Minister Julie Bishop conducted an interview using just emoji and described Russian President Vladimir Putin using an angry face. A 17 study found that the use of emoji in work emails reduced perceptions of competence. But emojis can be taken very seriously in the context of the law. The use of emoji has challenged lawyers, judges, and lawmakers in several countries. In a legal context, emoji are increasingly recognized not as joke or ornament, but as legitimate form of literacy, making a criminal threat via emoji. Perhaps the most troubling use of the emoji came through their use in interpersonal messages where it is unclear whether they modify or amplify a prima facie criminal threat. In New Zealand, for instance, a judge considered the role of emoji in a Facebook message sent by a man to his ex-partner. The man wrote, "You're going to get it," followed by an airplane emoji. Concluding that the message and emoji generally conveyed that the defendant was coming to get his ex-partner, the judge sentenced the accused to 8 months in jail on a charge of stalking. You can go to jail now in New Zealand for using the wrong emoji. A 2016 court in France convicted a young man of threatening his ex-girlfriend through a text message sent by mobile telephone. The court found that the inclusion of a gun emoji meant that the message amounted to a death threat in the form of an image. The court sentenced that defendant in France to 6 months imprisonment and imposed a €1,000 fine. So be careful out there, folks. You send the wrong kind of emoji, it could be construed as a threatening emoji, and you can actually go to jail. Evidently in some countries, yes, this is actually starting to happen. Australia, New Zealand, France. It's only a matter of time before it hits here. U.S. Virgin, there has also arisen several cases in the U.S. In Virginia, for example, back in 2015, a high school student was charged with computer harassment and threatening school staff. She had posted several messages to her Instagram account, combining text with emoji. A gun emoji, a knife emoji, and a bomb emoji. The student claimed that she had never intended to make a threat and that the post had been a joke. In the same year, a 17-year-old in New York was charged with making a terrorist threat on his Facebook page after posting a policeman emoji and 3 guns pointing towards the policeman. The prosecutor alleged that the message constituted a clear threat to police due to several factors: identification of a class of victim, the police, repeated use of the gun emoji 3 times, placement of the emoji weapons to the emoji officer's head, and the fact that other violent messages had been posted by the student earlier the same evening. However, a grand jury failed to indict the defendant, but conviction by emoji is coming to the United States. Don't doubt me on that, folks. Rod, that's serious stuff, man. Yeah, I'm going to send you an angry emoji now. Well, I'll respond with the hilarious emoji. How's that? Anyway, that is how the laws are now starting to emoji threats. I guess it is a form of language now. Emojis, they're officially a form of language. There are so many. I tried to save this for one day because there's just been, and now my paper pile is just full of this stuff. You've got gossip editor, top gossip editor accused of sexual misconduct. The New Yorker fires star reporter Ryan Leza over improper. Eddie Fisher's ex-wife claims that Larry King groped her twice. How do you get to be groped by the same person twice if you don't want to be groped the first time? You're never alone or near the person again, right? So groped her because he's claiming that Larry King groped her twice. NPR host Tom Ashbrook is facing misconduct allegations. Mario Batali is accused of sexual harassment by multiple women and is out at his own company. Tavis Smiley is suspended and is now saying he's going to sue by PBS amid sexual misconduct claims. He even put, I didn't do a damn thing to any of these women. The fake anger on his face when I saw this was just telling to me. I'm sorry, I don't believe you, Tavis. I do not believe you. Now, maybe before you put out that impassioned rebuttal, I might have believed you. But after seeing your so-called impassioned rebuttal and notice that it is all micro-expressions are everything, all fake, I don't believe you. I'm now believing the women that claim that you did what you did, what they say you did. That is my personal opinion now. But I don't watch PBS anyway. And 5 more women are accusing Russell Simmons not of just of sexual misconduct, but of rape. And in New York City, they've opened an actual rape investigation against Russell Simmons. Even Super Size Me star Morgan Spurlock reveals that he's been accused. Now, this is kind of really weird and different. He's been he's a guy named Morgan, by the way. But Morgan Spurlock reveals he's been accused of rape and once paid money to silence a sexual harassment accuser. He owned up to cheating on every partner he's ever had, and including his former and current wife. So he's he's out there, he's getting ahead of the curve, I guess. He's confessed to past disrespecting women, including being accused of rape and settling a sexual harassment claim. And nobody's out there saying that he did anything. He just decided to come forward. Yeah, I'm getting in on this. So, well, there you go. So good old Morgan is outing himself. I haven't heard of anybody actually accusing him of anything. He's just, I am part of the problem. I'm so sorry. I'm part of the problem, man. So nobody's accusing you of anything, Morgan. I know, but I'm still part of the problem. I paid somebody off because they wanted to accuse me of this. I cheated on my ex-wife, my ex-wife, who's the wife of my ex, and yeah. Give me a break. But there are people who are defending some people out there. There is a male model who is now out there openly defending Bruce Weber, who has been accused of many homosexual sexual allegations against male models. But there's the professional. He said, hey, Bruce Weber has been nothing but professional during his time with male model Andrew Ashton. I'm telling you, well, maybe he didn't like you, Andrew Ashton. You weren't his cup of tea. That's possible. He never tried anything sexual with me, Ashton told Page 6 on Wednesday. He never tried to put his hands on me. He never tried to push me in any way to do something that I didn't want to do. Well, maybe you were just all for it. I don't know. But Andrew, a.k.a. Andy Ashton, is defending Bruce Weber when you have a more than I guess there's a number of male models that are now coming out against the fashion photographer Bruce Weber, saying that they have done. Well, he didn't do anything to me. Do what? Is Andy Ashton now feeling left out? Is that what he's trying to tell Page Six? I don't know, folks. This thing just keeps going and it's like the freaking Energizer Bunny.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
Matt Damon is making news again, but not in the way that Matt Damon would actually like, I suppose. Matt Damon is being typical Matt Damon, and he is sharing all his bad opinions on sexual misconduct. Well, we can work with that, he says. So, since you ask, here are some choice thoughts from Matt Damon on The Reckoning, currently dismantling Hollywood one bad man at a time. In a interview with Peter Travers, Damon, who previously claimed he didn't know about Harvey Weinstein's sexual misconduct, but then admitted Ben Affleck told him what allegedly happened to Gwyneth Paltrow, now says that the consequences for such behavior should fit the crime. And to his mind, not all such crimes are equal. I do believe that there is a spectrum of behavior, he begins, and we're going to have to figure, there's a difference between, patting someone on the butt and rape or child molestation, right? Both of those behaviors need to be confronted and eradicated without question, but they shouldn't be conflated, right? There's more, people. There's more. All of that behavior needs to be confronted, but there is a continuum. And on this end, the continuum where you have rape and child molestation or whatever, that's prison, right? And that's what needs to happen, okay? And then we can talk about rehabilitation and everything else. That's criminal behavior, and it needs to be dealt with that way. The other stuff is just kind of shameful and gross. So there you have it. Matt Damon weighing in on his stupid, just how stupid the man is, really. He's vapid. There's nothing there. There's nothing real to him anymore. Maybe at one time when he was still a kid in Boston, but now there's just nothing to him anymore. Dustin Hoffman is also being accused of exposing himself to a minor and assaulting two women. And one of these accusations of the 80-year-old actor is coming from his time filming one of the worst movies ever created, Ishtar. Yes, Ishtar is one of our most celebrated actors, Dustin Hoffman, was in a very bad, one of the worst movies ever. It was a terrible movie. It is. It's awful. There's no way. If you're watching that crap, you shouldn't. Ishtar is terrible. It is. And finally today, there is an algorithm out there that is coming about that is putting deepfakes. It's called Deepfakes Algorithm puts Gal Gadot's face onto the body of an adult movie star. So now we're getting AI-created fake porn and fake porn stars. Good God Almighty, is nothing sacred anymore? Anyway, we're out of time not only for today, but for the week. We'll be back for the last week of shows next week for the year. So tune in. Got some special stuff coming up, plus a recap of the entire year of the Intel report on Wednesday. So see you here on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend, folks. Get your shopping done. I'm Rod Eccles. Thanks for tuning in. I'm out.
Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A shameless politician always plays her cards right. Got a crew for the fight on the airwaves. Lapdogs in the press keep their mouths tight. Cause a Clinton never needs to explain why it is what they done or with who. A real Clinton knows that they're entitled, and you don't get to know what they do.
What difference does it make?
For Clinton, what's loaded in some fat Apple file? A Clinton plays the victim for promotion. A Clinton kills it off with a smile. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A server full of secrets ain't no thing. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Nothing ever hits with the sting.